Good morning. Welcome to our International Women's Club Cape Town April General Meeting and our very first in-person meeting of the whole year. Vanessa Hoffmeyer, who was our treasurer and is again our treasurer this year. We're very lucky to have her. And Mohini Ramdani, she's our philanthropy. I don't think she's here today. She is, I believe, tuning on. And then, of course, Marcela Solis, membership. And Shelly Monchek, who is also unable to be with us today, but sends her regards and will definitely be tuning in to see. So really, we appreciate everything that you did for the 2020 year. It was a difficult year, and you helped keep us together. So thank you. Social media chair. Quick thank you and a brief explanation of our Red Hat members, because we haven't had a meeting in over a year and it can be easy to forget what it's about. And they generously collect money on the behalf of our charities over the year. So the explanation is tickets are 25 Rand each, and you can buy as many or as few as you like. And we collect the money and then we share the pots with the winner, and we also share the rest of the money towards a philanthropy. So what we do is we collect all of that money, and then at the end of the year, you guys as membership decide where that money will go. So we pick 3 charities and they get the balance of all the funds. So it's a really easy way to participate in philanthropy, and it really does a lot of good. If you look at our newsletters, you can see the thank you letters that we get from the charities we support, and they're always really grateful and really happy to be associated with the work that we do and help them with. And also this month, we have a very special Galaxy Easter egg. I don't know if everyone saw that. Straight from the UK Emporium, which Victoria Dickerson so generously donated. So if you don't get the sweet pot of money, you get the sweet pot of a chocolate egg. So I think that's not too bad. A few things I want to highlight this month. I'm going to try to get through this very quickly because I know this is the boring part of the meeting. I hope you guys have seen that we have several exciting collaborations with international clubs. I have another one. Book club. They're collecting books. That also goes towards philanthropy. Please donate your old books. Please buy new books. It's another fun and easy way. And everyone loves I love reading. And this month happens to be World Book Day in April, the 23rd of April, as you can also read about in the newsletter, as Christine wrote about so lovingly. So please contribute towards philanthropy in that way. Okay, back to our international clubs and the international collaborations we are having. Again, if you've looked in our newsletter, you see we have a lot going on this month, not just of the activities of our wonderful group leaders here and our area reps who are doing coffees, but Dublin in Ireland. Before I start anything, please, silent, cell phones, turn off, put away, put in the bottom of the bags. I was supposed to talk about that and I forgot. Yeah, I'll wait till everybody gets that sorted. Oh, the bells are beautiful. Big Ben. Oh, Big Ben. Oh, there. Not just any bells, Big Ben bells. All right. Okay. So, yes, what I want to talk about. So, Dublin is going to be doing a series called All Aboard, where they are discussing and meeting with other IWC, International Women's Clubs around the world. And they are highlighting Cape Town because there happens to be 2 members in the Dublin Club who come from Cape Town. So on the 14th of April, they will send us a Zoom link, and we're welcome to just share our experiences of our city and meet some other Dublin-based members and have a chat with them. They'll be showing some videos as well and introducing their cities. And then in May, we have a cultural collaboration with Vilnius in Lithuania. So they want to find out more about what is a typical day in Cape Town like. Why do we love living here? What's important to us? And we will be able to find the same about Lithuania, because I don't know about you guys, but I had to look up Vilnius on the map when they said, hey, we'd like to collaborate. So that's one of the wonderful things that IWC does, is it puts us together with a lot of other people. And so we can find the commonalities we have all across the globe. Let's see, last bits and bobs. Please check your details in the directory because this is the month we close everything and we print them. So it's nice that we can make sure we have everybody's up-to-date contact details. So if you meet someone at a meeting or you meet someone at a small group event and you think, I really like that person, I want to talk with them more, you can look them up and send them an email or a WhatsApp. And especially for our international members or our members who use WhatsApp on international phones, please make sure that we have your international phone number. Because if you have a South African number and you only use it 6 months at the time, the other 6 months when you're abroad, you won't be getting the news and all the details of what's happening with our club. So if you want to stay up to date, please make sure we have the international number. Another quick note, coffee around Cape Town. Lorraine Mewett has informed me that the coffee shop they chose for April has shut down indefinitely. Unfortunately, yes. So please contact Lorraine because I'm sure she'll be finding a new coffee shop and she wants to make sure that everyone that wanted to attend can still come. Anna Maria Deledone, who is our lovely philanthropy chair, she was here earlier to drop off some things and to help collect Easter eggs. But because of COVID, she wasn't able to stay for the meeting. But she did ask me to share a few words with you. And so she said, for all of the things that COVID made us miss out, one of the worst has been not able to stay for our first meeting after so many months and not seeing all of our gorgeous ladies. As you have read from the newsletter, all the grateful charities, thank you, thank you, thank you. The Easter eggs that you guys have brought in today, the marshmallow Easter eggs, will be donated and taken to the Mamre Educare Creche and the Ulawazi, which means knowledge, creche in Atlantis. Depending on the amount, hopefully we'll be able to give 2 to 3 eggs to each child. Anna Maria did apologize to the teachers that the eggs would only be delivered next week after Easter, but the teachers assured her that the children would be just as excited. She wishes our Jewish members that they had a good Pesach, a happy Easter, and Ramadan Mubarak to all of our other members. And our last thing dealing with philanthropy is, as you guys saw, we have these beautiful butter biscuit cookies with little rabbits and sparkles on them. And we have a few left over, and so philanthropy will be selling them for 10 Rand each. They're lovely, they're easy, you can have them for if you're having an Easter lunch or you're just having a Sunday lunch or you have someone special in your life or maybe you just like biscuits. I do. 10 Rand each, so please help contribute towards philanthropy and do that. And now I am going to turn it over to Christine, our Vice President. Thank you, Christine.
Good morning, ladies, and one possible gentleman. You may recognize me as, I'm Christine, and I'm very honored to be Vice President of the IWC. Before I start, I was on the front desk welcoming you with Marianne. One lady left her car key with me. And I just want to say it's not that kind of party, you know. But anyway, I seem to have somebody's Toyota key. I seem to have somebody's Toyota key, and it has the name Olive on it. So otherwise, I'm going to go around the car park afterwards and keep clicking and hope it's a Land Cruiser. But even if it's the Yaris, you know, I'm taking it. So if you think you've left your car key, please check and come and see me after the meeting. Okay, right. A year ago, as Amanda said, we knew little of Zoom presentations and meetings, or even WhatsApp groups, to be honest, and yet now this has become very much part of our life in the time of COVID. But however, despite getting to grips with the communication technology, which we have done, it is a real treat to be standing here face to face. And when I say face to face, I'm using that term loosely because I have to mention I'm so glad you're mostly wearing badges because some of you have got no idea who it is, you know. But I'm really, really glad that we're able to manage to put this meeting together. And believe me, it has taken quite a lot of thought, at least 2 Zoom meetings and 1 million WhatsApps and an awful lot of energy and careful planning to actually put this meeting together in a safe and convivial way here at Kelvin. So a big thank you to my fellow board members who've managed to get us together here today. Thank you. If you haven't already done so, please take a look at the newsletter, which was just published, I think, yesterday on our website. It is a 32-page bumper issue. It is amazing. It's almost as big as Hello Magazine, but a lot more exciting. We owe a really big thank you to Amanda, who, as if she doesn't have enough to do, she is also our editor and our desktop publishing whiz. And it's fantastic. So well done, Amanda. Thank you. In the newsletter, you will see that our group leaders and our area reps have been very busy in March and now have put together some fantastic activities for April. On behalf of the board, I would really like to extend a sincere thank you to all the group leaders and area reps, many of you who are here today, who give their time and their energy to the club to make these things happen and to make our members feel welcome. They are truly the backbone of our friendship club and have kept us connected and kept the club going during these very challenging times. So I would particularly like to welcome Xenia. Is she here? Xenia? Hi, Xenia has stepped forward and she's going to be the new area rep for the City Bowl area this year. I would also like to thank Cindy Taylor. I'm not sure. Okay, she's with Zoom, who is taking over as the leader of the Mahjong group. When I first heard that, when I first heard the Mahjong group, I thought it sounded like some secret triad organization, but it's actually a very popular group for ladies who enjoy playing this intriguing game, which I'm hoping to learn someday. I would also like to thank Sue Allenby, thank you, who has relaunched the One Dish Club. Again, I got that one wrong. I thought it might be a dating app, but it's a lunch, and it's held every month at the home of a member. So please check that one out in the newsletter for further details. So the April calendar has something almost every single day. You can Zumba on Zoom, you can have a girls' lunch on a Friday, you can try making ceramics at Zizameli, you can stroll around the gardens at the Sellers Hohenhall, or you can even hike up the Helderberg, to name just a few of it. So please take advantage of some of these wonderful events that are being offered by your club. And I would now like to hand over to Janet, our membership secretary. Thank you.
Dear ladies, Mr. Committee, hello, hola, buenos días, good morning. Today we have 10 new members, some of them from 2020 and the new ones from this year. Thank you. I would like to present our first member for 2020, Johanne Pearls. She's from Quebec, Canada. Is a member from Constantia, and the area rep from Constantia is Liliana Carter. She's here today with us. Johanne has working as an importer in the textile industry. And she told me her family for both sides came to Canada since 300 years ago. Well, welcome, bienvenue. Thank you. Merci. We have something for you. You can, perfect. Our second new member for 2020 is Feria Damayanti. She is from Indonesia. She's a member from Bishop Court. Her area rep is Nidia Fontano. Feria is a teacher for special kids with special requirements. She has lived in so many countries like Canada, Cuba, Venezuela. She's speaking Spanish also, and she loves to join to the hiking group from the IWC. Selamat datang. Thank you very much. Our next member is Rona Wilson. Thank you for being here today. She's from Scotland, and she's a member from Newlands. She has her own company, and she loves to do hiking. And Rona likes to make charity, and she wants to be part of the community, of the family. Welcome to our family. Good. Our next member is Val Petzold. Val is from UK. She's a member from Rondebosch. You can, if you would like to come with us, Val. Nice to see you today. Her area rep is Jane Farley and Petra Mollenschott. Nice to see you here, Jane. Val is a property consultant since 49 years. I know she's enjoying every afternoon tea at the Constantia and the Rondebosch member. And she likes to do philanthropy, and she likes to encourage especially women and young people. Welcome. Thank you. And now I would like to say welcome to our first member for 2021, Pam Collins. Pam Collins is from South Africa. She's a member from the Atlantic Seaboard, from Sea Point. She has been working 35 years in the agriculture industry with cows. Her area member is Ann Todd. Thank you for being here, Ann. And welcome, Pam. And she's also a member from the Mayon Club.
Yes, she does. She picked it up very quickly.
Good. Our next member from 2020 is Judith Stevens. She is from UK. She's also a member from Atlantic Seaboard, from Sea Point. The area reps, you know, are Ana Maria de la Done and Ann Todd. She's a teacher for English as foreign language. She loves to play bridge, maybe also mahjong soon. And she was a member in Johannesburg from the International Women's Club also. Welcome. Our new member is also from Sea Point. She's Margot Kilborn. Margot is from Holland. And she is the president of the International Association from Infant Massage. She's also a trainer. She loves to do crochet, knitting, and doing charity work. Welcome. Our next member is Stephanie Pedersen. She is from Denmark. And she's a member. She's also a member from the Atlantic Seaboard, from Bantry Bay. She's an operation manager for a very famous logistic company. You will find Steph along the coastline riding chappies and maybe sometimes saving the world. Now is working with the problem in the Suez Canal. Welcome, Stephanie. And the next member for 2021 is Anne Tike. Her area rep for Anne is Senia Bit. Anne is living in Gardens. She was teacher, speak French because she was living in France. And I need to say something special because she changed her flight to Europe just to be here with us. I know she loves the Sunday lunch. And liebe Anne, wir wünschen dir eine gute Heimreise und wir freuen uns sehr, wenn du nach Kapstadt zurückkommst. Herzlich willkommen. Danke. Well, see you next time to present to you new members in the next month. Sorry. Last but not least, of course, my dear friend Kelsey. Kelsey, thank you for telling me.
No problem.
Kelsey just came last Friday to South Africa. She's from USA. She will work in the Stellenbosch University. She's a researcher. She already wrote a book about food. Thank you very much for staying here with us. Thank you very much. See you next month with new members.
And can you just put a photograph of all of us together? Can you photograph all of us and then if we can talk now briefly. Thank you for waiting through all the business. I know it seems like we have a lot of members, but quite a few of the members that were presented today were from 2020 and they didn't have the ability to be presented in front of our club, and we think that's really important. So thank you for waiting for us to present the 2020 members and the 2021. And now we've got Victoria, who will be talking to you a little bit about social media.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name's Victoria Dickerson. For those who haven't actually seen me in the flesh, it's so lovely to see you on the flesh. I'm just going to take a quick photo from this side. I've been taking lots of the back of your head, which is not your most attractive feature. So just, well, some of you, yeah. We're all comedians today, aren't we? No. Okay. All right. So I'm your social media and communications chair. Now, I am looking to run a course at the end of April, 30th of April, and I need your help. I need you to tell me about those members who have been passed by in 2020, that Zoom is a foreign land to them. I know a lot of you have been overwhelmed with demand for help with social media course, and we will be doing that probably in May, and we'll do in stages. But I need you to tell me of the ladies who don't have Zoom, don't have a Facebook profile, WhatsApp, nothing. And because we're doing so much online, but I can't reach those people because I literally can't reach them. So if you know of them, and I have a few from Jane and a few from other area reps have been very useful in sourcing them for me. But if you've got a friend who's like, they're not comfortable coming here, but they can't manage Zoom, can you please let me know via the IWC broadcast WhatsApp number? There is a typo in the newsletter. The email should be media@iwccapetown.co.za. But I'll send out a WhatsApp on that when we're finished. So really, other than that, the details of the meeting are at 10:30 at Kelvin Grove, here at Kelvin Grove on the 30th. And we're going to mainly follow Zoom's, downloading Zoom, how to get to Zoom via a web link, email, Facebook, WhatsApp, and Zoom etiquette, like muting yourselves, as everybody has perfectly done today. Thank you. And how to create a Facebook profile and how to download WhatsApp. That is the level that I'm pitching this at. So if you've got if you're on Facebook, on WhatsApp, this isn't the course for you. It will be the course in May. Okay, so please, if you could just help me reach out to those ladies who are at the moment being passed by, and it's not fair. They pay the same subs as everybody else, so we need to reach them. Okay, I'm very excited to sit down, relax, and listen to Alan, but I'll allow Amanda. Okay, a man who needs no introduction, Alan Committie.
Oh, more! Fantastic. Thank you. That was lovely. Woo! All right, settle down. Calm down. Honestly, it's always too much. There's always one woman, isn't there? She's had enough. It's the first time out in a year. Normally from Bergfleet. I don't even think there is an international women's club in Bergfleet. I can't imagine. Is there anyone here from Bergfleet? No, never. There's no one who's ever even gone into Bergfleet and returned safely. So this is a delightful thrill. Thank you so much. What an excitement to see all of you face to face, mask to mask, cameras on. And it's almost a year ago, isn't it, that I spoke to you from this very same stage in this beautiful hall here in the very heart of Newlands, in the crotch of the southern suburbs. And I am so delighted to be asked back for no fee, but it is, no, it's fine. I do it for love. And over the next 3 or 4 hours, we will be beginning to, I am joking, of course. It's going to be much longer. I've got a lot to talk to you about. I haven't had an audience for 12 months. And so finally to be granted some receptive ears makes me very happy. I've got much to share with you. First of all, is the sound okay? It's not too echo. You happy? A very warm welcome, by the way, to all the Zoom delegates around the world. Imagine if they could get Zoom into Bergfleet. Maybe that's something the social media lady could look into, or just internet, or just people. Whatever they can in Bergfleet, that's what we should be doing, is reaching out. I'm coming to you now, America. Calm down, okay? I know you're a new member. I will come to you now. You just, I've written a book about food. That's fine. I will get to that, okay? You just calm down, Stellenbosch. And so it is really lovely to be here. And first of all, thank you once again for the brilliant work that you ladies do. This is an incredible club. I've got to know Amanda quite well, and we've spoken a little bit about some of the philanthropic adventures that you guys have had. But I do think you're missing out on something. We do need to raise money for Kelvin Grove to fix these curtains, because this really... First of all, they need longer curtains, and they don't go anywhere. So I don't know how they close these curtains. So let's try, if we can, for next year to raise some money for Kelvin Grove. They're desperately short of it, as you can see. These chandeliers, by the way, were chandeliers that auditioned for Phantom of the Opera, but couldn't make it. Very, very sad. So these are... And one of them actually does fall. We're not saying which one. It's a little thrill for later in the morning. We just one of them, boom, and then that's why those empty seats are such a disappointment over there. So we're coming to you now. Okay, we will be selling whatever it is you're selling. All right, it's fine. They look eager over there. Look at those three ladies. And only one of them not wearing the mask. You can see that. The other two, no, it's too late now. It's too late now. You've just flouted the rules, haven't you? Where are you from? All right, I know what the capital of the Philippines is. Come here with your patronizing attitude. Did they kick you out of the Philippines? Is that what happened? How did you get here? Are you here legally? Honestly, I don't... Lovely welcome from the Philippines. Nice to have you. Is she laughing? I don't want to look. And... we can't see. She's wearing a mask finally. By the way, you guys rock a mask. Listen, some people look magnificent in a mask. And, you know, the new trend, of course, is people finding masks that match with their outfits or their mood, having wonderful graphic design on the mask. They're beautiful. So a lot of you really make the masks, you enhance the masks, and that's wonderful. Some people, and they're not here, maybe one or two, some people are going to have to continue wearing masks even when the pandemic is past. No, and I say that with some respect. Do you know what I mean? And not just one mask, maybe a second mask on the top, maybe even a third mask. Honestly, now that we've learned, it is better to not see everybody's face. I think that's what we've learned, more importantly. Also, the ears. The ears, after a while, my ears have shifted 4 centimeters. These aren't even my ears. These are other people's ears that have actually shifted into my place now. It's incredible. I think for a couple of months after the pandemic, when it finally leaves, we'll have to wear the mask backwards to pull the ears and just rectify so that they go back into the right position, is my feeling. So I can't believe a year has passed. It's been a crazy time. In fact, the last time I spoke to you here, I was busy with the producers at Theatre on the Bay, the Mel Brooks hit musical. And in fact, that was the show that was stopped during lockdown at Theatre on the Bay. We had got through 6 of the allocated 8 weeks, and we were still to go to Joburg for a 10-week run. That's all being postponed, and we're waiting patiently. I can't see it being this year. It'll probably be maybe even the middle of next year that we get to pick up that show. In the meantime, we're waiting just for theatres, the bigger theatres, to open. Because of the restrictions, according to our Cyril, we're now back to 50% capacity. That's what we heard on Monday or Tuesday this week. And so we're hoping against hope that Lord Peter Turin, and I have to call him that, it's in the contract, if you've met him, you know, and he has said, well, hopefully we can open the theatres, and even if it's just weekends, Fridays and Saturdays. I have a new show there called Apoca Laughs Now, which is the banner is up, the set is there, the lighting's been done, but I haven't started the show since December because of the second wave. But that's now behind us. The third wave is just this, and then the fourth wave, we don't know what lies ahead. So this is kind of interesting times. But every year I try and do a new show at Christmas, January, and then I reflect on the previous 12 months. And it seems to me that, hold on. Beautiful. She's not even a photographer. She's a part-time Jehovah's Witness recruitment program officer for Stellenbosch. She actually just comes in and does work. So thank you. Lovely to see you again. Can't believe she was let out. And this is, she thinks she's going to take a candid shot, but then at the last minute, I do this. And then that goes on my Facebook profile, but you won't see it because you don't have Facebook, and you really do need to. Why are you moving? Sorry, I'm actually trying to do, you can't just move willy-nilly during the presentation, okay? There's also, no, you just draw attention to yourself. Hello, where are you from? From the States. Where in the States? Boston, yeah, beautiful part of the world. And how long have you been in lovely Cape Town? 5 years. Welcome, Boston. Nice to see you. And was that just a deliberate move to draw attention to yourself? Or are you slowly moving your way out? You've had enough of the meeting now, and this is you exiting slowly. We see you. We've got our eyes on you, Boston. Don't try. Yeah, we got you. Yeah. Don't you Mark Wahlberg me. I'm going to come around to each of you. I've got something for everybody. And so it's don't you start that, Ancho Sanchez Vicario. But I do want to say this, that it has been crazy. And every year, it seems to me that the pattern has been repeated. I will, in my news show, say, whoa, that was a tough 12 months. But matter not, because the next year is going to be tremendous. That's helped, by the way, the lights. Thank you very much. The next year, I thought it was an ESCOM thing. Turns out it was just this guy who had forgotten to switch on the lights. Honestly, this is his last day working for us here at... we keep saying this was a tough 12 months, but the next year is going to be better. We did that in 2017. We remember how bad 2016 was. We said, no matter, 2017 much better. Then we said, whoa, 2017 was unpleasant. But fear not, 2018 is going to really take us to new heights. 2018 was unacceptably awful, do you remember? And we said, don't worry, because 2019 will be excellent. And I don't think we had a worse year than 2019. We thought. And then we said, and I remember doing this at Theatre on the Bay, end of 2019, I said to my audience, but even the numbers in 2020 are a good omen, because we can laugh, and we said it's perfect vision, 2020, and we laughed. In that way, people in Camps Bay can laugh. Do you know what I mean? With a slight undertone of judgment. And we reveled in it. And if we're fair, the first 2 days of 2020 were magnificent. I don't think you've had a better start to a year anywhere. The sun shone, the cloudless days, marvelous. And then on the third day, if you recall last year, there were fires that broke out in Australia. And we thought, whoa, that's a little blip on the radar, but that'll be fine. And then on day 5, Donald Trump declared war on Iran. People have forgotten about this. He didn't follow through because he couldn't find Iran. So we were very lucky that his geography was slightly limited, okay? And then we had, in the second week of January, Prince Andrew was discovered to have got up to all kinds of shenanigans. And the royal family were distraught because they knew this would appear on season 7 of The Crown. So they had to quickly put that under the carpet, didn't they? They couldn't be caught with that. And then at the end of the second week of January, load shedding kicked in with a real vengeance. Don't forget, a year ago, they jumped us from stage 2 to stage 6. It went 264, 642, 2468. Who do we appreciate? Not ESCOM. That was the rallying cry. In fact, it was 2466424 on the 021 code. Because that's the number you had to dial to find out what is the schedule for ESCOM the next day. No one knew. Things got so bad, I'll remind you, at one point they were burning SAA planes to fuel the ESCOM plants. It was radical. All of that aside, we got to the end of January, and I think there was a collective sigh of relief, and everyone said, well, now we can get into 2020. It's going to be fine. And that's when the pandemic kind of started to rear its head. And when we thought, no, it can't get that bad. And then Cyril told us, can we just lock down for 3 weeks? And we said, we can do that. It'll be long. 3 weeks will be long. But we can bake food with bread and bananas. We can learn Italian. We all wanted to learn Italian. Even the Italians wanted to learn Italian, because no Italian has ever spoken Italian properly. And so they learned Italian, and yes, people dropped things. They were so nervous. They said, this is 3 weeks, but we can do it. We're going to pull together. And those 3 weeks passed, and soon 3 weeks became now. And here we are, only halfway through the pandemic. You didn't know, did you? I'm here to tell you, we're only halfway through. But there is good news, because during that mad time, because it went Feb to March, April, then Theresa May and clicks. Do you remember that? Theresa May and clicks came. No one knew what had happened. Here today, gone tomorrow. That was a terrible disaster in the country. Then in June, Katlego was cut from the outsurance ads. And so now in the outsurance ads, you just see people sitting in the passenger seat talking to no one. So that's very dangerous for those cars. Do you know what I mean? Luckily, they're covered by outsurance. Otherwise, that could go terribly wrong. So the adverts are much worse, but better. A lot of audiences would laugh at this as if they were jokes, but you are taking this as information, which I think is much better. Jess, won't you start the car? I'm going to meet you out front now. And the honest truth is, it got worse. Then in July, August, by the way, for our friends who've only weren't in Cape Town, we had an earthquake in July, August last year. The first one in Cape Town in 80 years. But it was an earthquake that no one could feel or see or hear, which made it very tricky, didn't it? Because we panicked. We kept saying, did you hear? No, I didn't hear it, but I saw people who did know that it was going to happen, but I didn't feel it, but I know it was awful. And somehow we rebuilt through that terrible time in Cape Town. It took almost 7 minutes. And then in August or September, there was a sinkhole in Sea Point. Where are my Sea Point delegates? They can back me up. Is anyone here from Sea Point? Do you remember the sinkhole? It just, like, there was a lady on her way to shul, and what happened is she had a bouffant hairstyle. It was too heavy, and it just collapsed the tarmac. A lot of people don't know that. If you get the bouffant, weight is mass times volume over distance. And if you get the wrong equation, it's too heavy, and then she just disappeared. Passover. And that's a new joke. It's not for now, it's for a different audience. And she disappeared. Bouffant is a French word. It means treasure, maybe not. It's a pleasure. That's a recall joke. So I brought a joke and then I brought it back. It's not for this side, it's for this side. And so that was that. And then we had President Trump starting to question the very basis of democracy and civilization, wasn't he? This is a man whose, I think language is not his first language. I don't think he could find Earth on a globe, honestly, and I say that with some love. But October, November, very tricky. And somehow we pushed through and we got to Christmas. And that was, yes, there's a phone call now. I think that's Father Christmas now. Who's that? It was a very clear, we had a moment where we said, don't, but you switch off. And now this is a lady. Is it for me? Should I take it? I can take it. Do you want me to? I can take it. Oh, I can take it. Oh. I also noticed, Sue, last year you just did such a fabulous job, and I have such fond memories of your leadership and the way you ran the club. And then Amanda, you give over to Amanda, and then you just undermine her leadership by just having the bells going off, the Big Ben. And it was deliberate, wasn't it, Sue? This was a moment of revolution, wasn't it? It was you attempting a coup. I see that. You think I don't see it. I know you, Sue. You're a tricky one. You were hoping, let's take it, let's storm the Bastille. But you couldn't, could you? No. Because Chile, no, from where? Where? What's weird is when you take the mask off, it's even less clear. From Mexico. Mexico, beautiful, Mexico. But I could see that you would not allow that. You come in with a lot of energy, and there was just no way Sue was going to be able to take over there. Do you know what I mean? Because you would have looked Sue in the knees, and you would have told her, you would have said to her, Sue, to here, but no further. And I like that. That was, it's a pleasure. I'm coming to you now. And where am I? Oh, so yes, so that was terrible. So we had, Christmas was a weird time. Christmas, for those who celebrate the Christmas, I think it's changed fundamentally. Back in the day, the Christmas cracker was a more rigorous thing, wasn't it? The Christmas cracker had structural integrity. Is that fair enough? It did, didn't it? It would take maybe 10 or 12 family members on either side of the Christmas cracker, and you'd give it a good tug, and the cracker. And I'm just pitching the level of humor here. It's not for you. It's for the people at home. And the noise that could come from the exploding of the Christmas cracker back in the day. Whoa, that noise. It was sometimes your grand's final Christmas, wasn't it? If she had a weak heart, you would actually have to put her in the cupboard, back in the cupboard. My gran only came out at 93. And it's a very special time. Not all these jokes are for you. Sometimes I just have to entertain myself as well. And she would give the Christmas cracker a huge pull, and the gift inside, oh my goodness. You would get, back in the day, you'd get like a BMX bicycle or a Blaupunkt black and white television set, or even another family. You never know what you got in the Christmas cracker. For our children and our grandchildren today, the modern Christmas cracker is nothing but a disappointment, isn't it? You don't even get to pull it. You just look at it from a distance, and it's just verlep. Verlep is an Afrikaans word, but it has Latin roots, from the Latin Filipeo, Filipere, Filipui, Mexico. And so that is the past perfect conjunction, in case you're interested. And and so you would pull the modern Christmas cracker, you pull, and the gift inside is, it takes until the 15th of January to work out what is it. No one knows what it is. What it is a spinning top with no spinning capabilities whatsoever. It might as well play for the Proteas cricket side. Do you know what I mean? It's very, very sad. So somehow we got through that, and now here we are. We've come to the 1st of April. April's full. We're at the beginning of the end of the first quarter, the beginning of the end of the first quarter. That is exactly where we are. It's kind of crazy. And the only good news, and I bring this news to you with some enthusiasm, is our government was very clear, even in this latest announcement on television earlier this week. Our president said, on behalf of the government, the vaccines are here. Or not here, but coming. They are on their way, or if not on their way, soon will be arriving, but possibly later. And we must take them, or don't take them, because it's better you don't. Unless you do want to take them, then have both jabs or one, a single jab or 3, or just steal them. But don't allow for them to be used unless you must, in which case it will be readily available to all those, or not. Unless we can't, in which case absolutely move on, but do register so we can find you or not find you. We'll just ignore you and not apply what should be medically transparent or indeed not available. So if it is, go ahead, but don't unless we want what you couldn't have had earlier, in which case good health to all. Enjoy the Easter eggs. They aren't available. We will have Easter eggs, but they will have the vaccine, but they couldn't. So if you can, eat a biscuit, but don't have too many. Love to all at home. God bless your mother. And he was very clear, wasn't he? He did say that. And we are grateful for the clarity that he brought to the situation. It's crazy. I didn't even know how to end that sentence. It's ridiculous. It's a bit like Oscar. Is that too soon? I'll tell you what's too soon, 6 years. Now, the interesting thing about all of this is I think we've missed a treat. Now, I don't know. There's so many of you from all reaches of the world. But in South Africa, we had something in the 70s and 80s that I think we've forgotten about. And it could help us, not just in South Africa, but around the globe. And that was something that our parents would give to us whenever we were sick. It was mercurochrome. Do you remember mercurochrome? You'd apply. Sometimes you'd be running out as a 6-year-old boy and you'd trip and fall and you'd rip your arm out of your socket and it would be hanging from a tendon. And then you'd go to your mother and she would dab 3 blotches of mercurochrome and go play. And it was fine. Within a day, your arm had healed and you actually grew another arm. And I just think that mercurochrome can be used. Let's inject ourselves with mercurochrome. It can't do any more harm, can it? We could, do you know what I mean? And then she can say, she's back off the mask again. Look at her. She's just back off the mask. No, you think, you just take your eyes off and then off the mask. Unbelievable. I mean, Oh, you're drinking. Good save. Well done. I know what you were doing because I do this. You have to sometimes take your mask off to read, don't you? Do you find that you can't hear people? Sometimes you have to, and you take your mask off. I just can't hear you. Because somehow we just confused the mask with everything else. Mercurochrome and also borstel. That was another thing in South Africa we had, the borstel. Do you remember that? It was like a cough mixture syrup made in Hades. It was the most profound, and you just gave that for whatever. Or milk of magnesium. These are the 3 things that we should just put into a big bucket and then inject people with it. I promise you, COVID would be a thing of the past. I'm trying to help medically, okay? Please, guys, you either take my advice or you don't. That's up to you. So here we are. It's been a mad couple of months. And as was already alluded to, we've spent most of our time digitally connecting and being on the Zoom. We've spent so much time watching. I think we've watched all of Netflix and Showmax. There's nothing left to watch. There were some things that caught our attention. I'm sure most of you watched The Queen's Gambit. Did you watch that? Yes, that was brilliant, wasn't it? A beautiful story, well told, and it made the game of chess sexy again, didn't it? People were like, I want to play chess. I want to play chess. And I was playing chess recently with Amanda, actually. She was so excited by it. I was excited. We started playing chess. And one day she said to me, shall we make this really interesting? I said, yes. And so we stopped playing chess. And it was so much better. I just suddenly realized how boring chess is. I don't know why we think chess is exciting. It isn't. Okay, it was a good program, but it's a lie when they say chess is interesting. But it got me thinking about some of the things that I used to watch growing up that presented life as a kind of fact, and we accepted it. Maybe because I was so young, I didn't question things. And I can't remember if I spoke about this last year, so forgive me if I did, but it's been sitting on my mind. I was a big fan as a young boy of the Swiss-German program, Heidi. Do you remember Heidi? Yeah. Do we have any Swiss-German friends here? Fantastic. Hello. Were you there when Heidi was? And what is it called in the Swiss-German? Heidi. This is incredible. In Afrikaans, we dubbed it into Afrikaans and we called it Heidi. So with just a little bit more phlegm, Heidi, whereas you just had Heidi. And it was such a wonderful program, wasn't it? And Heidi used to live in the Alps, wasn't she? With her opa. Dis reg, ja. And what is opa in German? Opa, beautiful. Again, Afrikaans and German are basically the same language. It's very fantastic. Opa and her best friend, the goat herder, was, Clara will come to, but also Peter, wasn't it? Peter. We used to say Peter. Now, did you get this in Mexico? Sorry? Heidi, of course, Heidi. Not Heidi, no, Heidi. It's lazy. You couldn't get the heights of Heidi. You just went for the Heidi, didn't you? Yeah, because Mexico's so flat, isn't it? No, there's mountains in Mexico. Exactly. So why wouldn't you go for the I? It's lazy. That's what that is. Sorry? And they shouldn't say that. That's a judgment call, isn't it? It is. No, I appreciate you being honest. Yeah. Also, though, I've got a show that I'm trying to do, so I can't have you interrupting all the time. Okay? Please. I've also been asked to share some thoughts here, and then you had your time. You came up here and you brought people up, okay? Maybe get your own show, then you can talk to people. Okay, I'm just trying my best. All right, this is typical of Mexico, just in and out. Yeah, I'm actually going to build a wall right here between me and Mexico. I'll do it. I will do it. Heidi, I love that Mexico also had Heidi. Pedro. Clara. So Clara, easy. Clara the same around the world. Abuelo. What is that? What's Abuelo Lopa? That's a song. Abuelo Lopa. No, what is Abuelo Lopa? Are you on drugs? What's going on? Opa? No, go on. We're all very interested. Yeah. Tata. Okay. Yeah. Okay. We're going to have to ask you to leave now, unfortunately. We're just getting the security are going to come around. Don't put up a fuss, okay? Just go gently, all right, please. And someone will take over your portfolio, okay? It's going to be fine. Bloody Mexico, I tell you. Abuelo Ititi, let me go back to my German. She at least knows, she's the original. What is your name, lovely lady? Erica, beautiful, beautiful. Where are you going? We're not done yet. We're still talking. She's going to go buy books. She needs water. She's bringing you water. She knows how much you've spoken and you probably need hydration, and she's coming to bring you some water, which is great. Erica, so it was Opa and Peter and then Clara. That's right. Who brought up Clara? Clara was the friend that people forget about. Clara. Do you remember she was in a wheelchair? In the Alps. This always struck me as bizarre. What kind of bad parenting is that? Do you know what I mean? Because you live in this desolate part with the rocks and the ravines and the drop-offs, the cliffs, and here's Clara in a wheelchair trying to be friendly. You never saw her. You only saw her every 10 episodes of Heidi, didn't you? Because she was trying to catch up. Heidi, ich bin kommen. Ich bin stocken in der Schnee. I think. I don't speak the German, but I think that's what she would say. Ich kann nicht, ich in der Schnee. Ach, nein. That's what she would say. And then Heidi and Peter would be snogging they would be kissing by the goat herds, and Opa would be up the Karnornia Tartara, whatever she said. And it was to be pivotal. And then there was little, Ich bin kommen. She was late. It's pathetic. It really very sad. And yet we presented that as facts. I'm just, I love all forms of entertainment, and I try to stretch myself. Last year, I do a lot of stand-up. Obviously, I was happy enough to do a musical. That's not in my comfort zone. The year before that, I had done a production of Richard III at Maynardville, which is our open-air theatre. And again, that's been kind of decimated in the last couple of years. We're hoping to revive that at some point. I love Shakespeare, and I was so happy to play in a Shakespeare. But if I'm honest with you, it's tricky for someone like me who likes to make stuff up to be, as it were, constrained by the brilliance of Shakespeare's words. And if you don't know Richard III, Richard III? What's that in Mexican? Ricardo de Tertia. There's a lot. There is a lot. Take a lot. And don't know why I'm asking. And Richard III, if you remember, had a terrible hunch. He had a hump on his back and a withered arm and a leg that was not so good. He wasn't in a good space at all. And there's a brilliant moment in Act 2, Scene 7 of Richard III. I like that you believe me. It wasn't. It was in Act 1, Scene 9. It was in Act 4, Scene 13. You don't know, but it was in all of those scenes. He says it 3 times. And he crosses the stage to his best friend in the play, Lord Buckingham. And he says to him, Buckingham, marked you not how that the brother of the Queen turned pale when he did hear of Clarence's death? Forsooth, God will revenge it. Come, let us on. And then he scampers off stage. Well, he doesn't scamper, he hobbles off stage. There was no scampering. It was a scamper-free zone. And the line, God will revenge it, very important. Shakespeare was very clear in the choice of words, because just a couple of minutes later, in the running time of the play, Richard kills the brother of the Queen, and so by implication becomes godlike. God will revenge it. One night, it was a Thursday, not unlike a Thursday like this, and in a kind of theater space, kind of like this, in front of a brilliant audience. And I was playing Richard, and I crossed the stage to Cousin Buckingham, and I said, Buckingham, marked you not how that the brother of the Queen turned pale when he did hear of Clarence's death? Forsooth, God. And then I forgot the line. But I not only forgot the line, I forgot what play I was in. Everything just receded from my hard drive. I had nothing to share with him. And I could see my fellow actor's eyes begin to kind of widen. He was panicking. The whole audience leant forward and in a loud French voice went, Quoi? They didn't know what was going to happen next. There was a real tension. And instead of saying, God will revenge it, all I could come up with was, God will sort it out. Which I think is a much better line, okay? I'm not saying rewrite all of Shakespeare. I'm just saying that gets to the nub of the situation. Do you know what I mean? That really cuts to the chase. And at that point, I looked at Andrew, who was playing Buckingham, and he went, because he was always quick to laugh. And a tiny little ball of, I think only, it was a snot. That's the only way to describe it. I'm so sorry to be so vulgar, but it was just there at the top of his nostril. And I went, He had the final line. He couldn't get it out. We just both scampered off stage. At that point, I thought it's so much better to be here at Kelvin Grove on a Thursday and talking delights with you. A better Shakespeare is kept away from me, I think, anyway. So here we are, and we're talking about the madness of this world that we now live in and how health is so important. I turned 47 during lockdown, and I suspect, like many of you, we found ourselves now in isolation with our family, with our friends, perhaps even on our own, and we had to look after our health. And I committed to 2 things. One, I would exercise as much as I could at least once every day, whether following online classes or just doing some of my own activities, and I did that. But the other thing, which I couldn't help, was that I ate more than I've ever eaten in the history of eating. Okay, and I've read books on food from people in Stellenbosch, so I know about food, okay? But I ate more than has ever been eaten, ever. So much so that I am now the fittest, unhealthiest person you will ever meet. I will sometimes eat the exercises that I'm planning later in the day. And you've got to be careful. I at one point had put on so much weight that when people would kiss me on both cheeks, they'd have to walk for a short while. That is not good. I would go out for a Sunday lunch and only get back on Thursdays. That is not good, if I'm honest with you. I actually went to my doctor now after lockdown, once the restrictions is eased. January, I went to my doctor. I said to him, listen, I've been exercising a lot, but my eating patterns, my eating habits are appalling. Do you have any advice for me? He said, don't eat anything fatty. I said, what, like lamb chops, pork chops, and bacon? He said, no, listen to me. I said, don't eat anything fatty. Yes, that's what he said to me. He's no longer my doctor. I got to tell you now, I don't see him anymore. So it's ridiculous. So I tried something new, and I bring you something. Listen, I know diets are faddish and change from season to season, but this worked for me. I thought this was quite delightful. It's a thing called the mirror diet. Do you know it? Oh, just please, just give me a chance. I'm trying to be vulnerable here. Okay. And the mirror diet is very simple, where you eat your meals completely naked while watching yourself in a mirror. Okay? Yes, you can judge all you want, but what it does is allow you to understand your own body in relation to the food. So you eat you eat your meals completely naked, watching yourself in a mirror. And I lost 3 kilograms in a couple of weeks. It was unbelievably effective. Yeah. But then some of the smarter restaurants said to me, no, this is upsetting the other patrons. So, and that's the problem now. It's just restrictions wherever you go, isn't it? You just can't even, look, even her mask is still on. She's understood the restrictions now, so that's fantastic. So you've got to look after yourself. I went to yoga. We must have yoga people here. Do we have folks who do the yoga? Yes, no? I tried it for the first time. I've been trying all kinds of things. Someone said to me, try acupuncture. I wasn't sure about it. I didn't want to know. Someone said astrology. Try and understand the celestial powers and the mystique and divine intervention of. And they said, try and look up into the skies. Try and find out which planets make you sad. I said, I know which planet. It's Earth. Earth makes me sad. I don't need to look above. Do you know what I mean? And I was trying to find that thing that would help me. And then someone said, go to the yoga. And so I live in a beautiful Takai, and I found a yogi Zen master, spiritual advisor leader. I think that's what they're called. A yogi Zen, yogi. She was very thin. She was low-fat yogi. And she was wonderful. And she had a number of teachers. And the guy that they put me with, first of all, the people in the class I could relate to because they were all shapes and sizes. You know, too many people are, now when you go to these exercise classes, they're all and dun. They've got the rrr. I've never, ever had the rrr. At best, I've been I've always had a and that's fine. You've gone quiet. I'm coming back to the jokes in a moment, but here's the interesting thing. I went to this yoga master, and he said to me, in today's class, we're going to focus on standing and sitting and bending and breathing. And I thought, well, those things I can do. I can do all of those things. And he said, just breathe in. And I breathed in, and he said, and just breathe out. And I thought, whoa, if I kept going at this rate, I could achieve at Olympic level. Do you know what I mean? In terms of the breathing in and out, I'm on it. And then he said, now inhale, and I did. And he said, on the exhalation, breathe in over your exhalation, inhale, and then half inhale, but breathing out slowly, the color of your fear. And then bend backwards and touch the small of your back with your eyelids. And then kick your right leg out perpendicular to your star sign, and then rotate semicircular directions, but your left leg must be cross horizontally at the same time in the air, but at a right angle, hypotenuse. And then rotate your arms inward and breathe in the color yellow. And everyone around me did that with no problems. And then I thought, this is not for me. Yoga is not actually for me. At one point, I saw a lady put her right toe in her left ear. Incredible. I'd asked a girlfriend of mine to do that years ago, and she said it's not possible. Apparently it is. I saw it in Takai. So we have to keep dreaming, everyone. There is a possibility. So that's it. So I wanted to share this story with you because I did a show for many years called Defending the Caveman, where we observed the differences between men and women. And this was a show that was written in America by an American comic called Rob Becker, and started on Broadway in 1991. So this year, 30 years old, that show. And I went back to the original script. I wanted to see, are some of those truths still do they still resonate today? And I'm happy to report they do. But of course, today we also understand slightly better, I'm hoping anyway, the complexities of relationships, some of the nuances of relationships. But fundamentally, some things happen always. And that is, as a man, and I'm talking here now to people who will find this very frustrating, but as a man, I can never bring the kind of details to a story that my partner is looking for. And I try my best every day. I really do. I wake up and I say, can I be better today? And I end up not being. And I'll give you an example. This happened recently. I went to Pick and Pay and I saw a friend of my girlfriend's at Pick and Pay. And I was so excited to come home and tell her that I'd seen a friend of hers at Pick and Pay. I really was excited. I raced home. I walked in the door. I said, baby, you're not going to believe this. I saw a friend of yours at Pick and Pay. And for me, that was the story. A very good story with a powerful beginning and a lovely ending. And then my girlfriend said to me, oh, was it Helen? I said, sorry? She said, was it Helen? I said, who? She said, the girl you saw at Pick and Pay. I said, I don't know. I didn't speak to her. I told you, I was at Pick and Pay. I had the list. I bought the avocados and the peppers. And then I looked up. I saw this woman. I have seen you with this woman. So I assumed friendship. And then I came home with some enthusiasm and I told you here what I saw there, which is that that's my story. I don't have any more details. And she said, but Helen with her husband, Greg. I said, there was no man in my story. I mean, almost certainly there was a man in Pick and Pay. I think we can put money on that. But I didn't see him. I saw her, didn't speak to her, came home with the shopping, told you here what I saw there. That's my story. She said, Helen with the blonde hair. I said, blondish, brunette, reddish, balding hair. I don't know. I didn't really look. I'm sorry I went to Pick and Pay in the first place. I'm very sad that I brought up the story, and I would like to retract it, and I would like now to go to bed and fall asleep. We are sadly no longer together, my girlfriend and I. Yeah. I'm now with Helen. I am. Greg wasn't in the picture, so you take your opportunities where you can, don't you? And we are very happily living together now in Bergfleet. And so, yes. And then finally, and this is important that we talk about this, because I don't know when last you have gone to buy bedding. It's not something we do, is it? Linen. I think the last time I went to buy some linen, and in fact a duvet. Oh, stuff you, that's how I say it. Okay. I had to buy a duvet. And I went to a shop called At Home, which is a misnomer because it's not. It's At Mall. So that's confusing. Right from the outset, you've got to really pay attention. And I walked in, and this is the reason I bring up the story. And Amanda said to me there would be an opportunity to share in a vulnerable way, and I'm happy to have this chance. But I want to tell you all here, and I'm really ashamed about this. I had a sexist thought. And I'm hoping in some small way that you will find it in your hearts to forgive me. But I'll explain why I had the sexist thought. And then we can maybe I would like to move on from this. Is my own truth and reconciliation, if you will. So just please hear me out as I explain what the sexist thought was. I saw a male shop assistant, and I thought to myself, but I'm going to have a conversation with that male shop assistant, which is the kind of conversation I'm dreaming of having, which is essentially I'll go, hi, can I buy a duvet? And he will go, yeah, here's a duvet. And then I take the duvet, pay for it, go home, make my bed and fall asleep. That was the dream I had in my heart. I'm just a boy with a dream in his heart. So I went to the male shop assistant and I said, Howard, I would like to buy a duvet. And he said to me, I'm assuming you know what TOG value you're looking for. Do you know what TOG value is? There's no shame in that. It took me until last year, 46 years old of my life, to find out what TOG, and if I hadn't gone to buy the duvet, I wouldn't have known. Does anybody know what TOG value is? Please help me. Good. Can you explain it as best you understand it? It's a tricky one, isn't it? It's a European standard, by the way. It only arrived in South Africa, according to this man, about 3 or 4 years ago. And the TOG value, there's a lady in the back. Tell me, what is it? Scottish lady, yes. No clue. We had no clue of anything in 2004. We had nothing. But go on. It's the measurement of the heat retention of the materials in the duvet. So in other words, a hot or cold duvet. That's what they could have asked me. But they didn't. They said, what is the TOG value available to you? I started to lose. I just felt I was getting a little bit kind of, when your breathing just changes. And I said, I don't know what TOG, because I thought TOG was the bag they would put the duvet in, that I could take it home, but I know nothing. I said, well, what TOG is available to me? He said 4, 7, 9.5, 12. So there's even a fraction in this made-up system. I was really starting to lose my rag, and I wasn't there for a rag. I was there for a duvet. So I said, well, please, I just want a duvet. He said, when would you use the duvet? I said, when the moon is in the 7th house and Jupiter aligns with Mars. I was really starting to lose it now. He said down, so I threw myself to the ground. Because in this country, in a mall, if someone says down, you don't take that command lightly. So I'm lying on the ground. He said, what are you doing on the ground? I said, you said down. He said, no, down duvet, you can have the down feathers. I was very embarrassed. I said, of course, down. He said, duck. So I threw myself back to the ground. He said, are you having a stroke? I said, no, you said duck. He said, no, duck feather. You can have down feathers or duck feathers. I said duck, and he didn't, so I punched him because he was irritating me. He was. And then I thought, now I'm in trouble. But then I remembered those wise words of William Shakespeare, so often quoted, God will sort it out. Thanks for listening to my mad ramblings. What a lovely crowd you are. Give it up for Mexico, Swiss Germany, Scotland, everyone from Bergfleet, and a lady who wrote a book on food from Stellenbosch. What a crowd. Unbelievable. Let's eat. Oh, is it time? It's time to draw. Right. Is this the water? Thank you so much. Thank you. Right. What have we got here?
This is our red hat draw.
Right.
First prize. Am I allowed to say what first prize is? It's a lot. $1,500.
Whoa! $1,500. That's fantastic. Yes, keep that. All right. So, is everyone who wanted to be part in the draw? Are you in the? Because this is your moment. You know what it is. 1,500. Do you want to join now? No. Right. So, I do a switch like that. I don't know if I did this last year, but it's important that you remember what I did last year, don't you? Yes, and we're going to do it again. So what I do is, there's so many wonderful people in here. But I would say at the moment, there's probably how many people here? About 100? Yeah. So I would say there's about 80 or 90 people in here. So at the moment, you've got 1 in 90 chance. But you don't anymore because we put those out. So now your chances are better, okay? Now you're in for 1 in 60. Unless I go like that. Now they're also gone. Now your chances are really excellent. So now we're going to scramble and see. And how many are we drawing for? Is it?
The first place.
Yes.
And the second place is the Galaxy Egg.
The Galaxy Egg. I'll bring that across. That looks lovely. So should we draw second first? Or first second? Or third last? Amanda's given up. She's had no more of me. Right. The Galaxy Egg, which is probably worth more than 1,500 Rand. I'm just looking at that. If that's at Woolies, that's probably worth an avocado. Right. So that's tremendous. Okay, so this is for the egg. All right. Good luck. All right, don't zip up. You don't know if you've won or not, okay? Just calm down. Just don't get enthusiastic. All right, there we go. Number 27, pink. Pink 27. Is that you? Oh, Geraldine, you put it away quickly. Open up. Let's see. What have you got? She's going back into her bag and in her purse. If it's not you, then we're going to have to ask. Yes! Woo-woo! Geraldine, congratulations. You win yourself this Galaxy Egg, which is just wonderful. Where's Geraldine from?
Geraldine, where are you from?
Here. Yeah. Well, you lived in Sydney for a long time. Is that true? Are you Australian? No, then no, sit down. No. Sorry, I can't. But you're South African now. All right, then you can have it. Thank you very much. Fantastic. Congratulations. Beautiful, Geraldine. Beautiful. Did you see the way she looked at it? She was a bit like, it's the wrong color, but that's fine. Enjoyed that. Right. Now we're going to draw for the first prize. That's right. So let's get rid of some more, because then we can really get down. Now we're in. Now your chances are really good. Okay, are you ready? All right. Oh, no, it's true. Just, all right. Number 53, blue. 53, blue, you're a winner. Amazing. Woo, woo. It's Cynthia. I don't know what your name is. What is your name? Pat. Lovely, Pat. Thank you, Pat. Beautiful. Where are you from, Pat? Ireland. I think we spoke last time. I feel like we did we? Yes, Pat, lovely. Congratulations. Okay, good, Pat. So that's lovely. What else do we need to do? Anything else for the... No? Oh, yes, no. Yeah, and you've done a marvelous job. You look gorgeous, by the way. You look fantastic. Thank you very much. There we go. Do you want to...
I think I just need to close the meeting officially. Is that right, Sue?
Right.
Oh, of course I need to say thank you, yes. Okay, well, yes, of course, a great big thank you to Alan.
Is there no gift?
I thought your fee was
Is
okay.
there no gift?
I thought the fee was enough.
No, I said there must be at least a...
Thank you, Alan Committie. You've been a wonderful speaker. And thank you to everyone for joining us today for our first IWC live meeting and hybrid over Zoom. Thank you for joining us all in over a year. It's wonderful to have everyone together again. Take care.